Alright, cool dudes, welcome back to the channel. I just got back from fishing. I got my rod, I just bought this today. Wasn't too much money, surprisingly cheap. I don't think it's a very high quality one. This goes into this and then you can fish. But it worked. I didn't catch anything. But I did look around and there was maybe 5 other guys fishing and none of them caught anything either. So I don't think there was any fish that were biting today. I don't think it was just me. Although I didn't know what I was doing at all. This was the first time I've been fishing in my adult life and the second time overall, because I only went one time when I was a kid. My dad took me one time when I was a kid. He showed me how. Completely forgot how. He seemed to be knowledgeable about it. He grew up kind of in the bush. Haven't really had a relationship with my dad in adult life, and I've talked about him in previous videos. He wasn't a great guy, and I'm not being kind of like that new age snowflake about it. Like, he was literally like out of his mind. But that's a topic for another video. So I went once as a kid. I think he wanted to take me a second time, but he couldn't find a place or whatever. So still only one time. And then I know my uncle fishes a lot. Haven't been with him. So yeah, so literally one time. But I think I had the opportunity to go maybe 2 or 3 more times on top of the one time, but it never happened. And I was never really interested in fishing as a kid. But kind of now I'm kind of seeing, like, it seems like it can be calm. Like, if you're not losing your patience and flipping out. Like, I was getting pretty pissed off about the line getting tangled today. I don't know if that's a common thing, if it gets better with time. I don't really know how to string the rod through. Towards the end, I think I figured out how to kind of get it going and how to thread it and all that stuff. I'm sure if I look on YouTube and Google it, I'm sure I did like 1 or 2 things wrong. I couldn't really, the one thing I still can't really do is I can't really cast it out, because it doesn't, I don't know if you do this when you cast out, or if you like try to spin this when you cast out, or if you switch this to the other side when you cast out. But it wasn't really casting out. So what I was doing is this isn't so I can't really show because I have to unscrew it and do the thing, but I was just kind of like doing this with it and like having the line go down into the water. And I had a bobber on at one point, but I found it easier to take the bobber off, and I just had the kind of the ball bearing big hook one, and it would sink. And I didn't really cast it far out. It was just kind of right in front of me, and I was off a dock, and I think the water was like 25-30 feet deep, and I had it pretty much right in front of me off the dock. And I think the line, the hook went down maybe 6 feet or so, and I kind of kept it there, and I was just kind of doing the waiting game. Nothing bit. It was raining off and on, and it was really wavy, so I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I'm sure that fish would probably be biting less if it's really wavy and there's a lot of wake. But once again, I'm new to it. I don't know. I just kind of wanted to get out, try something new. I drove by this dock area that I've been talking about in this video where I went fishing, and there's been people fishing there, and I was like, well, I should try that. It kind of looks interesting, and Like I googled before I went to the store like what the price range of rods are, and I kind of thought that they would be like 1 to 200. So to get like a starter rod, I think it was like 25 plus tax or like something like that, and it came with like a basic bait box included, so it was a good deal. So I was surprised about that. I got some maggots. I forgot them at home. That was kind of the first shenanigan about the fishing, is because it was a drive. It was about 45 minutes away, this place where these people are fishing. So when I got there, didn't have the maggots, didn't have the bait. So I was like, well, what the fuck? And like, that's like, I was already in my feelings. I was already like, oh my God, like, you know, fucking getting pissed off in the back of my head, thinking about like just fucking, you know, just fucking, but yeah, you gotta calm down. You gotta try to not think about, dropping nukes every time you forget maggots at home or whatever. So I improvised, and I don't know if this is a real thing, but it was on some kind of, not TikTok, but the YouTube shorts, comes some kind of survival guy. He said that you can cut a piece of your like dead skin off your foot and put it on the hook. So I did that, like not the living skin or anything. I wasn't like doing some kind of like serial killer shit, but I scraped a little bit of dead skin off the side of my big toe and I put it on the hook. It didn't work, but like I said, like all the other guys there, they didn't catch anything either. I think some of them had their family. So if you include the kids, like there's like probably like 15 people that came and go, and 0 people caught anything. So it wasn't just me, but I'm not sure if it's because of the lack of bait or me not really knowing how to cast it out. But I did have the hook under the water about 5 to 6 feet, and I did do the waiting game. So I mean, it could have been the waves too, could have been the rain. I'll look into that a bit more. It was kind of frustrating though, with the wire, with the plastic line. That was the craziest part about all of this, because if I wasn't fighting with this line the whole time, it would have been more peaceful and relaxing. I mean, I guess I can undo this and show a little bit, but what kind of kept happening is the line kept springing out of this thing, and it was either too much or not enough. Most of the time it's too much. And let me just screw this on here. Come on, guy. Hurry up, guy. Come on, guy. Okay. There we go. So this was, I guess the line goes, well, I know when you do this and you put this over here, then all the line comes out and you can't really spin the thing. And I think that's probably what you do when you cast it out, is you have it like this. But too much was coming out when I did it that way. Then this way activates this thing. And then it goes like this, and you can get it back and back. But when I was doing that, it wasn't going back into this, maybe like this inch spot where the line goes. It was going underneath here, and it was getting tangled and caught under this lip here, and it was getting caught and tangled under this here, and it was just this fucking big ball of fucking wire that was fucking caught here, like this big baseball of wire here, and I was just fucking spinning it, and I was like, what in the fuck? Piss ass shit fucking balls. And it was cold and it was windy, and that was going on, and I was in the back of my head like fucking thinking like, fucking chuck the whole fucking rod in the lake and just start screaming at people, ooh, fucking everybody fucking pissing shit, you know. But I kept it calm, and I didn't go full autism, but that was all in the back of my head. Like I was thinking like, man, like what am I even doing out here? Like I've never been fishing before. I should have researched this on Google before coming out, but I'm more of a hands-on guy, and I've been chronically online too much, so I didn't want to do that. My phone's been shitting out. I need a new phone, which is another thing that I'm gonna have to look into. Maybe go to a pawn shop, but I don't know if I trust a pawn shop with the phone, because what if you buy a phone from a pawn shop and you have a problem with it? It's not like you can get it from Best Buy or whatever and you have a warranty on it. So I don't know if I would do that. And then if to get a used phone off of Amazon would be even worse than the pawn shop, probably, because then it wouldn't be like a local storefront. So I'm probably going to have to go to Best Buy and get a phone, and that's like $1,000. So that's another thing. But this is cool, watching this this thing goes up and down. It's kind of cool. But yeah, so I got to learn how to do this a bit more. It's kind of stressful, but there was definitely moments of calm during the whole thing where when I just had the line in and I was just kind of just standing there, I was like, huh, it's not bad. Like, you just it's like a waiting game, and you kind of just zone out and you look at the waves, and if something bites, then I guess you reel in. I didn't get that far because nothing bit. I do remember from when I was a kid, the one fishing experience that I had, we had a lot of fish biting. It was actually pretty legit. Like, they weren't fish that you could eat. They were like those bottom feeding, like, suction fish, and I don't think people would eat those. But I remember they would tug on the line then, and you whoosh and you'd pull it out. But the thing I don't like is when this line gets all caught up everywhere, and I don't know if that happens when you're more advanced or when you learn what you're doing. Probably it gets better, but I gotta go over this on Google. But yeah, when the line was in there and you're just kind of standing around and looking at the waves, it was relaxing, and that was good. But then you'd have momentary flashes of complete internalized repressed rage that would come bubbling out when this line would keep getting like fucking out here, like when I was trying to and it was going the wrong way and it was flying out and I was just fucking flipping out. But yeah, that was my experience fishing. It was pretty good. It was kind of cold. It was raining off and on. But yeah, that was my first experience fishing. Just thought I would share that. Anyways, peace out. Hope everyone's having a good day.